Yesterday we had a very good discussion about fair trade and fair trade certification. There was a general comment that it's usually easier for smaller companies to obtain this certification. So my question is basically divided in three. The first is what do you think about the certification itself, and if it helps people, especially the producers? If Danone has any product that is still certified, and if you guys are thinking about certifying any product.
Well, if you had the debate, we won't have it today again. But I think you would share the conclusion that there is a debate on whether fair trade is fair or not, whether it's a good or a bad idea, and whether certification are relevant or not. My deep inner conviction is that it makes sense for at least one reason, which is that it changes the mindset of the people. And just for this very only reason, we need fair trade. And we need more fair trade opportunities in the consumer space than we have today. Because I'm really convinced that it will push the consumer's mind and open the scope of consciousness and awareness of social issues that people have when they consume, which is ultimately the reason why the world is how it is today. It's because we are all partly responsible of having shut down a number of our areas of consciousness when we are buying, investing, selling, etc. No? So I think simply because there is the word fair, and that word is questioning the model, and that word requires that people have an understanding on how the whole chain of the and the terms of the exchange happen, I think this is a good thing. The second aspect is that it identifies a purchaser, or it identifies the origin of where the product comes, which is, for me, one of the critical elements of the next generation economy, which will be much more localized than what it is today. And again, I think it makes sense for consumers to know where their products have been manufactured, where they come from even a crop standpoint, which is not the case when you buy a box of cereals or sauce or whatever it is. No? So, although there are limits, although there are debates, I think this is, these are good debates to have, and I hope that fair trade will continue to develop. As far as Danone is concerned, most of our production is local, because in fresh dairy, most of the sourcing that we have is direct milk collection, so we collect from the farmers. In France, we collect from 4 regions, which account for 80% of our milk collection. We have about 5,000 farms in our collection network. The average size is, I think, 65 cows, so it's sort of family-sized. And this is the case in most of the countries. Not all the countries. In some cases, we import powder milk when there is not locally an acceptable sourcing for us. In some cases, we have some giant farms. We can rediscuss that. But overall, I would say the sourcing of Danone is pretty local. So we don't have the same issue. The only product that really travels is the one we have on the table, and I think everybody knows exactly where it comes from. Evian and Volvic are the 2 only brands in our portfolio that are really traveling around the world. And there is a very clear understanding of the origin of the water, how it's been managed, the source and the protection of the spring, and etc. So we don't have products that I think could really fit in the category of fair trade, although some ingredients could. And particularly when we are buying fruits and fruit preparations, we could do so. We are more working on the naturality of these ingredients than the question of fair trade. What I mean by that is we're pushing to have very high quality, organoleptic quality for the fruit preparations. We have an internal program overall within Danone which is called Respect. This program is the internal fair trade agreement that we have and that we deal with all our suppliers. So any supplier of Danone has to sign, and we co-sign with them, the Respect chart, which says a lot of things on their side, a lot of things on our side. It's our way of trying to build fair conditions, sustainable conditions of dealing with each other. But we do not publish that outside. And therefore there is currently no big plan for Danone to be active in fair trade.